Okay, guys, so I went way back for this recipe. And when I say way back, I mean like literally way back in my cabinet to get this hand mixer out. It's so old. I haven't used it for a long time, and I've only used it maybe twice, like in my life. So this recipe calls for whipped egg whites, and I only had one egg white to whip since I cut the recipe in half, and I decided to use this hand mixer, make sure it worked. So I have 2 ounces of chocolate chips to start off with, and then to add that I add a half a teaspoon of coffee grounds, and then I melt that together over a double boiler. And then I move on to combining my dry ingredients: 77 grams of all-purpose flour, 36 grams of white whole wheat flour, 7 grams of tapioca flour, half a tablespoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt. Mix all of that together. And then I go back to my chocolate mixture and add to that a quarter cup of buttermilk. I make my own buttermilk using vinegar and whole milk, so it was 45 milliliters of whole milk and 15 milliliters of vinegar. And then I am creaming my butter and sugar together: 1 stick of butter and 144 grams of unrefined cane sugar. And here I am separating my egg, the yolk from the white. That little device there is so handy. I add the yolk to the butter and sugar mixture along with a teaspoon of vanilla, and then I whip that together. I move on to whipping my 1 egg white. It's an old mixer, but it got the job done. I got my soft peaks that I needed. And while I was taking the white off of the beaters, I accidentally dropped my mixer. So I would say it's probably time to get a new one. I have my creamed mixture here, and then I begin adding my dry ingredients, alternating that with some buttermilk. I have 120 milliliters of buttermilk, or 120 grams, or half a cup, that I am alternating with the dry ingredients. I usually do about a third of each addition. I do a third of the dry ingredients, and then a third of the milk, and then a third of dry ingredients, alternating back and forth. This method I have skipped in the past, but I am going back to using the old school methods because I feel like these are better for what I'm trying to achieve, which is a fluffy cake. So then I fold in my egg white just to make sure it doesn't deflate. And this is the base of the cake. And this is where the magic happens. I add to the chocolate mixture, I add a third of the the vanilla cake batter to the chocolate mixture, and that gets me my chocolate part of the marble cake. And then I dollop the vanilla cake in sections into the pan, and then I alternate with the chocolate cake batter. I found my cake batter to be much more fluffy doing it this way rather than the reverse creaming method, which I've been doing. Creaming the butter and sugar together, I find is better. It just turns out it yields a softer, more moist, and more bouncy cake. So I run my knife up and down and across to get that marble effect. I bake it at 325 degrees for 25 minutes. And I had a lot of dishes after this to wash. I feel like I probably could have done a better job at consolidating my dishes. Hopefully next time. I run my spatula around the cake pan and it came out perfect. Look at that. So beautiful. And satisfying. I let it cool to room temperature and I wrap it in some plastic first. Because I knew that I wasn't ready to do a taste test. So I went ahead and wrapped it up. And I wanted to also see how long it would last. Wrapped up just out on the counter. I didn't freeze it or refrigerate it. I just decided to leave it out on the counter just to test it. And then I had some leftover chocolate ganache that I poured on top, which was delicious. So the reason why I decided to try the marble cake again, a different recipe, was because I just have not been happy with the recipe that I've been using. I was doing the reverse cream method, like I said, and just not happy with it because it was dense and it was dry and not to my liking. So what I did was I took a recipe from Divas Can Cook. I took one of her vanilla cake recipes and combined that with a recipe from the Preppy Kitchen video for his recipe for his marble cake. And I kind of made it my own, as I always do. And this is the end result. All right, guys, we are going to try the cake. I've had it out for probably about 3 days and have not even tasted it yet because I've been doing all kinds of other things. So anyway, finally got it cut and we're going to taste it now. Good. Wow. Really, really good. Even though it's been out for 3 days, I have not froze it or refrigerated it or anything. We're back. So I haven't refrigerated or froze it or anything. It's been out for about 3 days. I wrapped it in plastic and foil, and it tastes really good. So I am definitely going to go with this recipe that I have for my marble cake that I did in this video for the birthday cake that I have to make next weekend. So I know that I can make it now, probably like 2 days ahead of time. And I'm actually going to freeze a couple of pieces also and just see how they turn out. He wants to eat the whole thing. But the cake is really good. It's really moist. Still has a little bit of moistness in it even after it's been sitting out for a long time. So this is definitely a keeper as far as my marble recipe. And then I'll probably use that vanilla cake recipe also for my vanilla cakes from now on. All right, that's all I have. Thanks for watching, guys, and I have other videos. We have other videos that we're working on. He's doing the sign for more. He's doing like this because he wants more cake. Is it more? All right, thanks guys for watching, and I'll release some more videos when I get time. Bye.